You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
The Sports and More show's coming right up with Vince and Reggie. Keep it tuned right here. Couple minutes. One minute away from the Sports and More show. Ladies and gentlemen, live and direct, the Sports and More show coming to you. Hardcore DJ Dollars and Cents, Reggie Lawrence is in the house, along with me, the sports governor of Minnesota, Vince Wright. And we are going to bring you a new experience in radio talk on the internet. And it is going to be a lot of fun. Let's give it up for the main man from Kalamazoo, Michigan, by way of Cleveland, Ohio, our favorite DJ, I should say, Mr. Dollars and Cents. What's up, sir?
What's going on, Vince? Man, just chilling, bro. Excited. Our first episode on the SME Network. Really excited.
Cool, man. Yes. And, hey, man, chat room's already popping. Before we get started, let's welcome some of these fine folks in here. Of course, we got the main man himself, number one Chief Rocker out there, Mr. Jersey Vern. What's going on, Chief Rocka? The one and only. We got our main man out there, Mr. Sluggo from Atlanta, GA as well. What's up, Sluggo? And we got the very lovely. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead, Reg.
Well, I was going to say we had the beautiful, spicy conversations in the house. Love the wonderful spicy.
Yeah, spicy conversations.
We also have my main man, C. Mick in the house, coming to you from Lorain, Ohio. One of my best friends, Craig Mickelson.
What's going on, C. Mick? Thank you for joining the Sports and More show, baby. And, of course, it ain't a chat room. Well, you know. In the chat room without the one and only. And I think she's about to pop in. I believe the First Lady's going to be tuning in. She may join us on the line here in just a little bit. But, hey, man, first off, thank you guys. The first edition of the Sports and More show, me, DJ Dollars and Cents, as you know, I'm in the chat room. Reggie Lawrence, he comes to us by way of Cleveland, Ohio, so you're about to hear a bunch of Cavaliers mess from him. But outside of that, Big Reg is chilling in Michigan. I'm from Minnesota, as you know. And we are, just like the title says, Reggie, why don't you tell them a little bit about the Sports and More show?
Yeah, you know, both Vince and I, we love to talk sports, but the nice thing is that Vince and I are from the Midwest. So we're going to bring you some sports talk and some other up-to-date topics and real-life current events from a Midwest flavor. Again, Vince from Minnesota, and I'm from, living right now in Kalamazoo, Michigan. But first, you know, I wanted to maybe, Vince, have you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and then I'll follow you if that's all right, my man.
Well, not a problem. And for those that didn't hear me on the Sports Done Right show, I am Vince Wright, the sports governor from Minnesota, proud member and graduate of the Big Ten Conference, University of Minnesota. And not only do I talk all things sports from this region, the upper Midwest, like my boy Reggie does, we kind of wanted to come together because, you know, we share a lot of similar interests. We both have biracial kids, you know, both from the Midwest. Up north, as a lot of the SME fans would say. But, man, this show is going to be a lot of fun because not only sports, the more part comes in as well. So we're going to talk about everything on here, man, from them fine ladies. And actually, I'd like to talk a little bit. I got a big thank you for Jennifer Lopez. Remind me to get to that a little bit later.
I like Jennifer.
Yeah. I got a big thank you for her, by the way. Something I noticed on the ride home today. Hopefully, the First Lady ain't listening for that one, brother. But, yeah, man, Sports and More show, that's what it's all about. A little bit more about me, Minnesota kid, born in Chicago, actually, raised in Minnesota. Love living up here, except for the winters. It's tough, as we know. But, hey, I wouldn't have it any other way. I do look forward to relocating somewhere warm at some point, but that's just me, brother. DJ Dollars and Cents, people. DJ, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I grew up in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, suburb of Cleveland. Whenever I talk to people, it usually just turns back into Cleveland. Kind of like if someone grows up in the suburb of Detroit, at some point they take it back to Detroit, saying that's where you're from. But grew up there, went to college in Rhode Island. I am a member of the greatest fraternity in the world, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, look out.
You know, I got to give a shout out, of course. You know, you're going to have some other people that are going to rep their frat, but, you know, I had to look out for mine.
And got to say what up to all the Sigma New brothers out there as well. What's going on, Gamma Tau, U of M chapter?
Yes, sir. So I have two kids, again, like Vincent said, biracial kids, beautiful kids. And then I DJ, I have a DJ business. I'm a pharmaceutical rep. And also I decided to give back to the kids. So I coach travel baseball 10 years old. So with that being, you know, further ado, let's go in and Vince and hit on. There's a couple more people that's joined us in the chat room.
Man,
so
look at this. Our main man from Texas, the colonizer himself, baby. Let's get up out of our seats before he makes us get up out of our seats. And welcome Mr. Ty Bukowski, that filthy Chicago White Sox loving son of a. Hey, what's up, Ty? What's up, man?
Yeah, not only that, Ty likes the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which they're pretty much in my backyard, so I don't know about
man,
Ty.
Nah, don't even get me going there. We don't do Notre Dame on this show, homeboy. And also up in the house, as you said, your frat, the main man out of the OK, Oklahoma, that is, representing kind of that lower region of Oklahoma. Give it up for the main man, Mr. Boosa, in the house. What's up, big man?
What up, Blue Fight? You know.
If I may ask, Dollars, because I see in the chat room, Boosa has, what is this, GOMAB, GOMAB, Dollars?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's kind of a
Is
fraternity.
that something y'all can share? Or
No.
Oh, secret. Okay, my bad.
No, it's okay to ask. Now, we can say that there's a get on me and bounce. How about that? But that's technically really not the official definition of Go Mob is what it's how it's pronounced.
All right. Well, hey man, we got a big show tonight. I can't believe Big Ty has definitely come out to play with us, man. I'm glad the lovely Laura Jean has let him come hang with the big boys for a minute, even though he's in here talking this Irish nonsense and this White Sox nonsense that I'm sure about to come out. But the Cubs, baby, Cubs got your number this year, Texas, Ty. So let me know how you feel about that. The phone number, by the way, folks, if you do want to call in, and if you are listening to us out there on the Sports and More Show, 651-968-0124. And the big news, by the way, Reg, we got to let the people know, making our debut on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. That's right, rolling with the X Squad affiliates. Check out the website, xsquadaffiliates.com. Kesey did a great job, man. But, yeah, we're rolling, Reggie.
Yes, sir. Let's give a shout-out to the rest of the X Squad affiliates. How about that, man?
Do that.
All right, we got to give a big shout-out to my man Jersey Vern, number one Chief Rocka.
Oh, of course, number one Chief Rocker in the house, man. The guy was becoming the Sean P. Diddy Combs of the X Squad affiliates, man. And by the way, you can find all of our shows not only on Spreaker, but also start checking out the website. Everything is on xsquadaffiliates.com. Go ahead, Red.
Yeah,
my bad.
That's all right. Big shout-out to you, my man, the Big Smooth. You got your own show as well.
Thank you.
Big shout-out to the microwave, patty cake, Jon Fisher.
Oh, man, you got to love the microwave, man. Big things coming from that home,
Gonna be a big shout-out to the beautiful and spicy. Miss Spicy has a fantastic show. It is definitely not G-rated, but you got to make sure you check that out.
Oh, one of our new favorites on the SME network, SME After Dark, baby.
My man Kesey has his own show as well. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And before you continue, by the way, we do got to welcome the hottest grandmother from South Florida. That's right. Give it up. The lovely Mocha Bella has joined us tonight. Mocha, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, Miss Mocha. Yeah, you white hot. We gonna get to your Miami Heat a little bit later for sure, Mocha.
He got something to say about that, I'm sure. Go ahead, Reg.
We also had the beautiful Thorny Switch just join us. I don't know if you saw that.
Wonderful Thorny. What's going on? The lovely Thorny Switch. Got to give it up for her UGA UGA love. The hottest graduate Georgia has ever produced, the lovely Thorny Switch.
Yeah, I was going to say, Vince, not only do we have, the best looking, females as far as that listens to our show and chat, but they know more sports than most men. And, when you're talking about Thorny and Mocha and
hands down, brother, hands down.
So this thing hit. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Let's see. We got the Lonely Hearts with Togo there, right? Great show.
And also, by the way, I got to do this announcement. My main man just joined us. He is part of the Minnesota Mafia when he comes to rolling with us here on Spreaker. He is Ronald Cameron, known as RC from Duluth, Minnesota. I was just up in his town last week. Unfortunately, we couldn't hook up, but RC has joined us in the chat room. What's up, big man?
What up, Mr. RC? Thanks for joining us. Really nice to see Texas Ty and Thorny and everybody.
And by the way,
glad to have
how could we forget the man out of Massachusetts, Reg, the cheating ass, Tom Brady, Grego. That's all he gets right there. Grego sporting them Cheatriots as usual. Sushi eating, green tea loving, as the Chief Rocker would say. The main man, Grego, has joined us, Reggie. So, hey, man, let's tell these folks what we're going to get into tonight, man. As you know, I got LeBron James starting to talk some ish about Steve Kerr. Got to get into that.
Yeah, but before we do one last...
it.
Oh, yeah. Before we get into that, one last X Squad affiliate is my man DeLeon, and he's actually from Ohio as well. So another X Squad affiliate.
What's up, Holmes?
All right, so let's get into this LeBron James. I know you like to harass me about it. So, what exactly are you pushing me to comment on, Vince, when it comes to LeBron James?
LeBron James today, people, or maybe it was yesterday. I'm not exactly sure, but in my notes here that I was jotting down here at lunch with when I was thinking about topics today, I noticed LeBron James' comments about Steph Curry's MVP award came off as curious to some. But, Reg, while LeBron said what he did about Curry deservedly, winning the MVP, he doesn't think that Steve Kerr deserved to win Coach of the Year. Here's a quote from the King. I think Terry Stotts should have been or could have been Coach of the Year. I can't remember the last time that I've seen a team lose 4 starters and still be in the same position as far as the postseason success that they had. I mean, they lost Batum, they lost Matthews, they lost Robin, they lost LaMarcus in the offseason, and the only returning starter was Damian Lillard. What do you think about the King going a little ham on Mr. Stephen Kerr, head coach of them Warriors?
You know what? Before he even said anything, people were kind of questioning Steve Kerr. And you have to kind of question. And the reason is you got a guy who had just retired less than a year, and takes over the reins, and he actually, for the most part, had a better winning percentage in this short time frame. And that's Luke Walton than Steve Kerr did when he came back. So, to be honest, when you have a situation like Luke Walton taking over and they don't miss a beat, I'm going to actually agree with LeBron James. And I don't really agree with him too often, but I'm kind of agreeing. You got like you said, the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, they battled Golden State every ounce, gave them every bit of, that they can handle. So I don't see a problem with what LeBron says. I kind of agree with him, okay. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to definitely be bulletin board material. But what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I like to get you going as the Cleveland fan, brother. And again, folks, you're listening to the Sports and More Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I kind of agree with you, my brother. I'm going to say, LeBron's he thinks his coach has done a great job. You can't fault the homie for that. So I got nothing to say against LeBron. I don't necessarily agree. And I know people go, well, Luke Walton basically coached half the season. How are you going to give Steve Kerr the Coach of the Year award? I really don't think anything would have changed. I give Luke, obviously, mad props, and we can talk a little bit about him because he's walking into a hurricane down in Staples Center. But, yeah, man, I have no problems with what the King said. And, he is definitely looking much better on the court, and he's coming to play, man. Cleveland is definitely trying to send a message to the folks out in the Oakland area that they are for real this year.
Yeah, and the one thing I thought that was very interesting that LeBron said is that he congratulated Stephen Curry for winning the MVP. Obviously, he said it was deserved, but he did have a good point in saying that, for him to get unanimous and then no one has ever done it before, I am kind of a little bit interested in that. And I also found it interesting that LeBron had kind of questioned what the definition of it, most valuable player. So,
right.
And again, when you look at it, Golden State still won without Steph Curry. Okay, so I kind of see where LeBron's coming on that. Did Steph Curry deserve to be the most valuable player? Yes. But that team looks like it can function pretty much without him, whereas if you look at last year, without Kyrie, without Kevin Love, LeBron almost averaged darn near 35 points, 10 and 10.
Yeah, so, you're absolutely right, cuz. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, let me jump in the chat room here. As I definitely want to make sure we touch on that. First off, we got to welcome our main man, and glad he peeped in tonight. Mr. Scotty Jones is in the house. What's up, Scotty?
What's up, Scotty? Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. And again, folks, you got the Sports and More Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Check us out at xsquadaffiliates.com. That's the website. Sluggo says LeBron has made several great points the last few days. Should make, I think is what he's saying. This should make for an interesting finals. I totally agree. It's starting to shape up that way. Oh, and of course, we got to welcome my main man from Alabama. I'm glad I didn't miss him. Mr. 334 Bama Boy has joined us, Reg.
What up, Bama Boy? We're going to be looking for you, Ohio State, this year, sir.
Oh, there it is. Shots fired.
You know I'm going to talk smack. I am going to talk it.
Absolutely. So, let's see what else is going on here in the chat room. Everybody always saying what up to each other. Boosa said Gronk is on the cover of Madden. What do you think about that for all the gamers out there?
I'm wondering. I do kind of believe in that Madden curse, believe it or not. I mean, I would say more times than not, there's been more players that's been on Madden and then gotten hurt that following year. I thought Antonio Brown should have been on it personally, but
wasn't Odell Beckham on there, by the way, too? Didn't he get injured?
Yes, he did. Yep.
There you go.
So,
people.
Let's see here.
Right. Thorny Switch. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, I would say Grego even agreed with me. He said, "Damn it, why did he want to be on that cover so badly?" Grego, I'm gonna tell you why. Your boy loves the publicity, and he's actually the one guy that parties like a rock star, and he still performs every Sunday. And obviously, he must be damn good because, your boy cheating. Your cheating head coach doesn't put up with too much distraction and drama, but he does with Gronk for whatever reason.
And first off, Mr. Togo Uganda Coles, we'd like to welcome him as well. Team Broadcasting up in the mix. Host, by the way, of the Lonely Hearts Club. Ladies, when you need that ear of a man, you got to check out Christopher Tracy, the Deacon, Aloysius, of course, on the Lonely Hearts Club. Great job on that show, by the way, as well.
Fantastic show. Just wanted to read a quick post by Thorny. She said that was my question. How do you win Coach of the Year when you did not coach the entire year? Great question. And what's even more interesting is that Kerr didn't even give Walton any props. Kind of like, hey, I wouldn't have did it without him. And I just found that kind of interesting.
That's a very good point. You really did not hear anything about that. Kerr just kind of came back and swooped in, Coach of the Year. Yeah, thanks, kid. See you later. Good luck in L.A.
But, I definitely don't agree with him getting the Coach of the Year, but it is what it is. But speaking of coaches, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Scott Skiles packing it up, after 1 or 2 years with Orlando? I found that very interesting.
Well, it was 1 year. He had a 35-42 record, 35-47, which, it was a 10-year improvement, by the way, as well. So it seems to kind of caught everybody off guard. I really don't know what to make of it. The quote was, after much thought and careful consideration, I and I alone, he says, have come to the conclusion that I am not the right head coach for this team, he said in a statement. Therefore, effective immediately, I resign my position as head coach of the Orlando Magic. I realize this type of decision can cause much speculation. The reality, though, is in the first sentence, it is simple and true. Any other rumors are pure conjecture. So who knows what's to make of this in this internet age, though, homeboy. We're going to find out, Reg. We're going to find out. And when we do, I think we're going to understand that there's maybe a little more to this story here. I don't know, maybe you had to run in with the front office. Maybe you had to run in with some players that we just didn't hear about out here in the public. But who knows, man. We'll figure it out. We'll get it out there in the Sports and More show.
Oh, well, let me tell you this. He damn sure shouldn't get another job when you just quit. You know what I mean? I never really liked him anyway. He was a pretty good little point guard. He was scrappy. But if you ever saw that 30 for 30 with Penny Hardaway and Shaq, it was very interesting, that beef that he got into with Shaq. So, but hey, I wanted to make a correction. The number one, Chief Rocka, is a huge Giants fan, and he corrected me and said that Odell did not miss any injuries after being on the cover of the Madden. But there has been a lot of players that's been injured, though, after being on Madden.
No, and thank you guys very much out there for checking us out, the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the Sports and More Show with Vince Wright and Reggie Lawrence, DJ Dollars and Cents. The lovely Thorny Switch asked a great question here. The Skiles threw his hat in the ring for H-Town or the Kings. Now, Thorny, the Kings have already hired the coach, Dave Jorger, I believe his name is, or something like that. So that leaves H-Town. If on my show the other night, I actually talked about Patrick Ewing, the issues he's having finding a head coaching job when he basically has done everything right as an assistant coach. It'll be interesting, though, to see if Skiles does have any interest in any of these other openings. What do you think about it, DJ?
Well, I don't know if you knew that they were looking at David Blatt, too, formerly of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard about that. Blatt.
So I don't see it. I don't see that happening. When you got Hart or Harden over there, I just don't see David Blatt being a good fit. Blatt needs to be with a young team, that's pretty raw. And I think that's what he came on board to coach the Cavaliers. But, of course, since LeBron did a 360 and came back to Cleveland, that was kind of a big reason why he left. And it's actually, if you look at how the Cavaliers have now gelled, I'm going to say I think it was a great hire with Tyronn Lue. So,
yeah, I hear you, man. It's going to be very interesting. Of course, Scott Skiles, he's a good coach. I don't really have anything against him. He's done it a couple times now. I'd like to see some other people get looks. My sister at the University of Minnesota, one of her good friends, J.B. Bickerstaff, who did a okay job down in Houston, maybe like to see him get a shot down there to stay on. Maybe Kevin Ollie gets a call from somebody. He's been a big name on the college scene. He won a national championship, an up-and-comer, former Timberwolf, by the way. Just had to get that out there. But it would be very interesting if Kevin Ollie starts getting some looks. And if you're in our chat room or if you want to call in at 651-968-0124, let us know your thoughts on some of these NBA retread coaches and openings. Like I said, Patrick Ewing deserves a shot. Patrick Ewing has done everything correctly, and I hope he gets a chance. Patrick Ewing, the only interview he's ever gotten was for Erie, Pennsylvania, the D-League team.
Well, I wanted to bring up something I also thought was interesting. The Memphis coach, they fired him, but they fired, Lionel Hollins to bring in the guy who basically ran the same system, and then he gets fired too. So, all these shenanigans in the basketball is a bunch of BS. I think it's ridiculous. But I think my man Scotty Jones just came into the chat room, so I wanted to welcome Scotty. He had also made a comment saying that if Gronk wasn't 6'7" and unstoppable, Belichick would not be putting up with his shenanigans. You are 100% right. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. Got to welcome our main man, the digital demon himself. Kesey has joined us, the host of the Kicking It with Kesey show. He's covering all the hottest trending topics in today's society. Kicking It with Kesey. You can find out more about that.
What's up, Kesey?
Absolutely. And again, check out that website, xsquadaffiliates.com, for all the show's information.
Go
ahead.
RC. Yeah, RC has said, just think Gronk has played 6 years and he has 65 TDs, which is the same amount of touchdowns as Michael Irvin, who played 12 years. Very good stat right there.
Yeah, Grego in there talking about put some respect on that name. We did, Belichick. That's the respect we put on it, man. So, yeah, NBA, we got playoffs coming up here very shortly. ESPN has got their crew warming up here. The very lovely Sage Steele, by the way, man. Sage Steele. Ooh.
She fine as hell.
Oh, man. Sage Steele.
She's definitely fine.
She's kind of a taller, thin lady. But, man, she is just a beauty.
And then you got him pictured next to, what's his name from Cleveland? Was the reporter that used to follow LeBron James.
What's that, Brian Windhorst?
Yeah, let me just tell you, LeBron James has made more millionaires if you think about it. I mean, that dude's got more people that followed him that's made a ton of money and now cashing in on ESPN. Just from following LeBron James. The other thing I wanted to throw out, man, have you noticed how Tim Duncan has just dropped off the table overnight? He just looks horrible.
Yeah, he does, man. But hopefully, if they do wind up battling in the Western Conference Final, he can find that fountain of youth and get it right back, man. Tim Duncan, obviously all-time great. You kind of hate to see these guys hang around too long, but if he can get one more shot at the ring, I'm very interested to see if he can dig deep down in the reservoir and get back at it and see if now, obviously, OKC's they got a little something to say about this, but if San Antonio does find a way to get back at Golden State, it's going to be real interesting to see if Tim Duncan can get it back.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this. Actually, OKC, they've found ways to lose games in that second half. So clearly, even though they brought in the Donovan, I don't think that was a great hire. But it's all Durant and Westbrook, and it's looking like Westbrook is learning more how to defer. But if OKC could learn to clutch, and close games down the line, they would have won this series. But if they don't win tonight, I don't see them beating San Antonio in Game 7 in San Antonio.
No, you're absolutely right. And by the way, that's kind of what we're hearing in the chat room as well. RC from Duluth, Minnesota says Father Time waits for no one. And that is so very true, as we know, homeboy. But don't count San Antonio out just yet. Still got a game to play here. And if any team obviously has shown you that they can come back, it is San Antonio as well. So, but yeah, man, Oklahoma City looking good.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them pull it out because I think it'd be nice to see them versus Golden State. I think their bench, their bench is doing really well, and they're also the number one rebounding team. So that'd be a nice matchup to see OKC versus Golden State, in the final.
No, you're absolutely right. And folks in the chat room, I got to welcome the three musketeer, the third amigo in the Minnesota Mafia joining us tonight. Minnesota with the huge preference on Stewart Media and Entertainment Networks. Give it up for Mr. Jarvis J out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Jarvis J, what's happening, sir?
Jarvis, what up? You know what? For y'all to have so many people on the shows, man, y'all teams stink, man. All y'all Minnesota squads stink.
You know what? What's Cleveland doing here besides basketball? What's that tribe doing?
We're second place.
Hush. You need to hush.
I mean, do y'all even have double digit?
Reggie, you need to stop, man. And don't really, you want to go and talk Browns football?
I'm not. Well, hold on. Back up. Have y'all gotten double digit wins with your Twins yet?
We are close, brother. We are close.
All right. We are close. I mean, you can go Browns, but whatever. Anyway.
Hey, that's all right. How's that Manziel jersey fitting you, home?
Grego said Father Time was like, I didn't come to talk to you in Seattle, Hasselbeck, so sit your ass down. And he is right. Father Time catches up to everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Hey, and let me say this, folks. Thank you very much for listening to us, the Sports and More Show. Vince and Reggie, the chief rocker out here trolling, talking about where's he at? Where is he at? Tell him again, Dollar. You know what, Chief? Sit your ass down before you get lit on with the hot lead tonight too. Your little New York loving ass.
I mean, do we even need to talk about your Minnesota Gophers football? Like, I don't even know why you bought season tickets.
Gonna be the greatest comeback story in college football history next year. Is they got the easiest schedule, and if they can't win next year, they need to go to Division III. You're absolutely right. The Gov of Minnesota sports don't lie, man. I give it to you straight, homeboy.
Yo, you getting your tickets on Groupon? How about that? And they probably giving out Timberwolves tickets as well, along with your female basketball squad over there.
Hey, don't mess with the ladies. The ladies bring home rings up here, and yes, they do. Yes, they do. 3 championships out of the past 5 years. Give it up for the Lynx, baby. Ow!
Right. Now, Jarvis J said, Reggie, at least the Twins got 2 rings and you're Indians. Yeah, you know what? I don't have anything to say about that.
Hey, I bet you don't. I bet you don't. RC, I can't say ish about the Twins, but the Browns have been ish since Jim Brown retired. Thank you very much, RC, Minnesota Mafia. Thank you.
Well, Jarvis, you must not know I'm not a Browns fan. Actually, I hate the Browns. I'm a Steelers fan. And if you want to know how many rings we got, you can't count on my fingers.
Hold on.
What?
You're from Cleveland.
Yep.
And you're a Steeler fan?
I am. Been one since 1970s, baby.
Were you dropped on your head? I mean, what's going on, Reg?
Well, hold up. Bling, bling. Make sure you answer that because it's the kettle calling. How are you a Cubs fan and you live in Minnesota?
Well, you know, born in Chicago, spent 3 months out of every year back in Chicago. See, my mom and dad, they had the hookup. They just shipped me back to my grandma for the entire summer. Like literally the day after school, this brother was shipped back to Chicago, and I didn't see Minnesota for roughly 3 months. And that's how it was up until about the age of 14. So I would actually wind up going to more Cubs games and White Sox games than Twins. And, you know, the family, all that stuff, man. But if you want to keep talking ish, man, we going to have a problem. Don't worry about me and my Cubbies. All I know is they're in the first place, brother. Thank you. Sports and More Show, baby.
Every time I see you, you have on a new jersey from somewhere.
Oh, from now you're going to go take the Chief Rocker route, huh?
You like Doug Stewart, man.
Hey, let me play your song, baby. Yeah, let's play the Chief Rocker song for my co-host here, since he wants to be biting off the Chief Rocker.
Look, I rock the same jerseys, the same squads, man. I look up, you got an Alabama hat on, you got a Blackhawks hat on, a Cubs hat on, a Vikings. I'm like, man, I don't know who my boy rolling with.
Well,
but anyway.
First out in the chat room, your boy, C. Mickelson, out here laughing at you, talking ish about them Steelers. Thank you very much, sir. Grego, yeah, you got the number right. Bust it off sometime, homeboy. Oh, hold on.
And the Penguins going to take it all, by the way.
Exactly. Caller, who do we got on the line?
Yeah, you just played the song, brother. You know who it is. You got call ID.
Hold on, let's play it again. Hold on.
All right.
Out of the ATL, ladies and gentlemen, you know him as the number one Chief Rock in the land. Give it up for Jersey Vern, people. What's going on, Jersey? How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm good. Don, you forgot the LSU jersey and hat. You forgot the Texas Longhorn jersey and hat. You know what I'm saying? Must I go on some more? And you talk about your links. Your links got the best player in the WNBA, and she's from Georgia.
Is that great?
You know what I'm saying?
Is that Miss Maya?
Maya Moore?
Okay.
And very, very beautiful, by the way, too, Miss Moore. Oh, yes.
What about Griner? I think Brittany Griner is the best player in the WNBA.
Oh, hell to the no. You see what Maya Moore did? Maya Moore won 3 NCAA championship with Connecticut. Then she came to the Lynx, who wasn't doing nothing until she came there. And when she came there, they was in a championship the first year. So, Brittany who? Man, Brittany Griner ain't nothing but something tall, skinny, just like y'all was talking about, stay still. I don't like nothing bony, man.
Hey, can I get in here for a minute, folks? And thank you. We got the number one Chief Rocker on the line on the Sports and More show. Hey, man, we got Grego out here in the chat room. Listen, first off, he's listening to you fools too much. You would think Vince is an owner of a Lids locker room, as many teams as he's wearing.
Well, you know, Grego. Grego's a New England Patriots fan, a Boston Red Sox fan,
and what's
a Los Angeles Lakers fan, and he eating sushi and rice, drinking a nasty ass Boston Harbor green tea, and he's always on the sideline holding Brady deflated balls, you know, and he's Grego. and then he's a Alabama football fan. So you tell me, where's Grady? Where's I'm getting ready to call him Brady. Where's Gregory at? On the front running side.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, hey, guess who just came in, man? Our boy that was back from his vacation, Mr. Patty Cake Microwave.
Oh, there he is. There's the music, the one and only. What's up, Patty Cake? Welcome back from that vacation, homeboy.
Swerving in my neighborhood.
Swerving.
My partner.
That's a hot track, by the way.
Yeah, the people in Minnesota love it. We on Swerve up here in the Great White North, thanks to Jon Fisher, Patty Cake Microwave.
Yes, sir. Microwave about to do some big things in a minute, man. We got some catching up to do, so you gotta be tuning in.
Oh, we will be. Now, Chief Rocker, since we do got you on here, the Sports and More Show, we got Reggie Lawrence up in this house as well. Hey, man, what do you think about LeBron? What do you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers' chances of getting – well, I think they'll get back to the finals, but do they got a legitimate shot at taking out Golden State, homeboy?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you something. That was the best move management ever made was to let Brock go. Brock could have won. They could have won the division with him coaching, but they would have had a harder time. When Tyronn Lue came to coach him, Tyronn Lue told him, y'all going to run, and run. You know, that's the only way you're going to get out of somebody holding the ball all the time. You're going to run that ball. You're going to run it down people's throats, and you're going to get back and play some defense. So the first week and a half, he came to the team. You know, I mean, he's already on the team, but when he took control of the team, he just told them, y'all going to play Tyronn Lue ball. If you don't know what that is,
right?
Be on the court 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to start some wind sprints. And they can't do nothing but do what this man say if you want to get paid, you know? So he brought the best out of them, man. He brought the best out of them because they won some games this year that I think if Brock was coaching, they would have lost. Some of them tight, close down to the end games.
Well, not only that, Jersey, I was reading, too, is that Tyronn Lue has always been able to just call it like he sees it and call people out. And he actually got LeBron's ass about him and hugging up on Dwayne Wade, saying that, you know, you calling out your other teammates and then you down in Miami hugging, you know, you can do that ish some other time. And the other thing that I was reading that they said is that Lue is very, very calm under pressure and you know, very, very cerebral and very, very smart. And I think if he had been there before, I think he would have treated Steph Curry he would have treated Kyrie Irving just like Golden State treated Steph Curry last year. When he was hurt, they set him. Unlike Black, when he played Kyrie and he was hurt and there was also a game he didn't need to play and they were blowing him out and then he ends up getting injured later on. So I agree with you on that, Jersey.
Hey, Dollar, another thing. Tyronn Lue would have played the Matrix more than right. He would have played him. He would have played Jones a little more, and he would have brought, what's the center name y'all had from Boston that won a championship? Everybody I'm talking about won a championship. Yeah, all in one championship. He could have brought Perkins out there to bang more so the other centers could get some rest because they was running up and down the court with Golden State. See, when Curry made his move to Iguodala, playing more and starting, that's when Cleveland should have made a move. They didn't. Because Sean Marion can play defense. He still has D on him, and he can go to the hole and create too. So I think they totally burnt that team out last year when Kyrie and Love went down, and that's why they lost, man. But then you got to look at it. They won 2 games. So imagine this year what it's going to be like. Imagine. You're stronger. No injuries, right. You know?
Absolutely, and we got the Chief Rocker here on the Sports and More Show on the Stewart and Media Entertainment Network. Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, I met Tyronn Lue at what's the damn Chick-fil-A in Ohio. Actually,
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and it's like in a rich part of Ohio. But I look up, I'm like, damn. I'm with my girl. I'm like, I think that's damn Tyronn Lue. But this is when he was with Black. He ain't that tall, man, but a cool brother. I rolled up. I was like, yo, what up, man? Good luck. You know, and cool dude, he was like, man, thanks, man. I'm trying to do my thing. And I was like, yeah, I hope you take over at some point. But Yeah, a good guy. I also think that with the Cavaliers, J.R. Smith is playing some of the best defense that I've seen him play in his career. So I really think Cleveland can match up with Golden State. And you're gonna have Kyrie's gonna probably make him work. You got Shumpert that's gonna play some D, and then you also got that kid from Duke that I think can come off the bench and play some some tough D that they signed from the D League.
Exactly. Looks like Chick-fil-A's a favorite of the colonizer Ty out there. So, Ty, I just wanted to say Chick-fil-A is my spot as well. So, Reggie, I hear you on that, man. I could eat that stuff all night long.
Why you ain't buy food for him, dog?
Man, that cat got millions. Hell no. Yeah, I don't do that, dog. I shook his hand and was like, yo, keep it moving.
Damn.
Sluggo said, I saw Lou at Intercontinental Buckhead with a banging ass Nubian sister. I was distracted. Yeah, his girl he was with was fine, or his wife, she was bad. Now, I was kind of trying to keep one eye on her and then one eye on my man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, y'all go ahead and ask me the question y'all want to ask me so I can let the colonizer get on, because the colonizer want to get on, because I think he kind of pissed with how y'all dogged this team out.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Jersey. Make
Go
sure.
right ahead.
What the hell's going on with your Yankees, man? Yeah, I heard you call me out yesterday, bro.
Hey, yeah, you goddamn right I called you out. And the Yankees are winning right now. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a full squad, man. You know what I'm saying? We getting pieces back slowly but surely. But we still hanging in there. We climbing that ladder right now, and we haven't played Cleveland yet. I can't wait till we play Cleveland. And then, like I told Vince the other day on his show, sports and more. Sports done right. Yeah, I'm talking about the show today. You see, that's how hype I am. I'm going to dollar for when we talk that BS, right? But anyway, like I told Vince the other night, man, they ain't even 3/4 of the season yet, or either half of the season, and you talking. Talk to me in August, because in August, Cleveland going to start slowly but slipping down in the division. Y'all going to have too many injuries and no hitting. That pitching ain't going to last forever. Wait till it get hot, man. It ain't that hot in Cleveland. You right.
Not only do you not have any hitting, you don't have any pitching either, besides your boy.
What you mean we ain't got no hitting? We hit off the other night and won the game. We hit off of Kansas City best three relievers the other night and won the game. You know what I'm saying? So don't sit there and talk about we ain't got no hitting. Have Cleveland done that to Kansas City? Y'all tell me the reason
we took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City.
That's good shit. That's good shit. That's good shit.
I'm playing the song. Get them, Chief.
This year.
But you know what? You know what, Dollar? That's the only thing you got your host left for, because Pittsburgh ain't doing shit in football this year. The Cavs won't win it for you, so you probably be on a high horse until football season comes, but your baseball dream is going to be like $1 in the drain. And with that, man, y'all brothers, y'all have a good night. Texas Todd, you can go right on and do what you got to do. But you know what? The number one Chief Rocka, he's about to say, amen, and I'll catch you on the rebound.
Yeah, don't forget our bet. Don't forget our bet, brother.
Oh, I got you, Dollar. Don't worry about that. You just don't forget, all right?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks,
take
bro.
it easy, Chief. The one and only Chief Rocka. You hear the song. That is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Reggie, what can I say, man? The Chief Rocka got you.
Nah, I got to respect my elders. I like Chief Rocka, but his boys are in last place. Just want to let him know that. I mean, in case his internet's broken, they're 13-19, 7 games back. That's not a good look.
Oh, and guess who is calling us? Oh, boy.
Well,
Thanks for calling the Sports and More show. Who do we got on the line?
This is the one and only Texas Ty. Howdy, y'all.
Oh, man, the myth, the legend, all the way from Texas. Oh, no, we got another call. What's up? Oh, who do we got on we got a party line going. Who's on the other line here?
The microwave.
Oh, Patty Cake. Oh, man, Ty.
Microwave.
There it is.
We got a Macarena line going on.
Oh, yeah, we do. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only Texas Ty and Jon Fisher, the microwave, in the building. And Fisher, I got to start with Texas Ty because it's been a long time since we heard from him. Texas Ty was the very first caller, by the way, on the Sports Done Right show. Texas, what's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm just getting ready for this wedding coming up about 23 days, I think, something like that, June 4th.
Congratulations, brother.
Congrats.
Now, Texas.
Doing all this housework and trying to get it ready.
I heard that, brother.
All right, so Texas, listen, can I give your lovely fiance and her mother some advice?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
All right, so I DJ, right? I have a DJ business, and I DJ'd this wedding last weekend, and I damn near almost slapped the ish out of the bride's party. Just off the chain, disrespectful, man.
Hey, man, I didn't know I had OJ as a co-host up in this joint.
Nah, man.
Right.
Listen. An hour in, man, the bride was cool, but her girls was riding me an hour in like, you need to play this, you need to play that, and you play what I tell you to play. I'm just saying, man. Tell her respect the DJ, take it easy, man, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my advice. Like, don't be bridezilla.
Yeah, we got some songs put together, talking to that ninja. We're supposed to get together on Facebook or something. He's going to put together some songs for me. I'm just looking for some old school, try to get away from this country that they're going to try to play. So I'm looking for some Motown, some good jams,
There you go, Texas.
I'm a fan of that stuff.
Well, hit me up if you need me to send you some other tunes. I can send them Dropbox to you. I got all kinds of Motown, everything you need too.
That's our song we're doing. I'm not trying to spoil the sports more with some wedding talk, but
it's the Sports and More show, baby. Do your thing.
Yeah, that's right. It's me. You're my everything from the Temptations. So,
hey, Jon Fisher can sing that
down
at
there
your
now
wedding.
and then.
Fisher can actually sing that at your wedding, can't you, Fish?
All day, man. Twice as good as Mike Tyson on The Hangover.
And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it back there. That's Jon Fisher. Let me get at Big John here for a quick minute. Texas Ty, stay on the line, please. Jon Fisher, first off, man, glad you're back from vacation. Big things happening for you, man. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about what they can expect to hear from you coming up on your shows, homie?
Well, I'm just like a old dirty bastard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby, I like it raw. So when you hear me. I've worked out the kinks that I had going on Tuesday, so next week the show will go on as scheduled. You already know how I'm gonna bring it to you live and direct. Plenty of sports, plenty of stats, and you get it from a raw perspective. And I like to get live with it and everything. So then I also got Bottom to the Top show with me in Jersey, and we're gonna be airing that on SMEs on Mondays.
Right.
And then I'm also working on a new show. No title yet, but I'm working on a new show with Spicy. We haven't figured out what days we're gonna record and everything. But it's gonna be big things coming up from Fish soon, man.
Hey, absolutely. And Fish, man, because first off, I want to thank Jon Fisher for letting us play his music on here. Because honestly, Fish, I mean, you're my boy and all, but I like your cuts. How did you get started in the rap game, man?
Really. Rap started kind of a little bit now, I always knew I was good at it. Like when I was in the 7th grade, we had to make a science rap and everything, and I pretty much wrote the whole rap for my whole little team and everything. I wrote everybody's
like
verse. I was almost like Dr. Dre. Yeah, like Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying?
Were you on the school bus just writing the rhymes like Cube was?
Nah. I wasn't on like that. But see, what I used to do back in the day to learn the words of a song, I would play it over and over and over again. And I would write down the lyrics. And once I wrote down the lyrics, I was able to, remember all of it. So I always knew I was pretty good when it came to rapping, but I never really wanted to do it. I was a basketball player. And then once the dream of basketball, they threw me out of school. Once that dream died, it was back to the hood, back to the block. And then, at that point in time, rapping was the only thing that I saw that would get me rich. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I took to rapping and, I went down that lane and, it was getting ready to definitely go good. Swerving My Suburban. I'm on Swerve is the name of the song, but that was one of the more recent songs that I did, and it was getting ready to pop. But my baby mom, she just didn't want to be a part of that life no more. We were still together at that point.
Right.
She didn't want to be a part of that life, and it got to the point where it was more of a headache to still chase it than to try to be a happy home. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to be a happy home, tried to do the right thing. And then after all that, we still ain't together. Ain't that some shit?
Well, hey, so Fish, how come you couldn't get back in? Why couldn't you get back in? Was it a situation is once you step out of it for too long, you can't get back, or what, bro?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like riding a bike, but, you know, at the same time, you can ride a bike, but it's going to be a while before you can ride with one hand. It'll be another while before you can ride with no hands because you're just not used to doing it the same. My life has changed. I don't do the same things that I did, you know, back in the day when I was really hot and heavy in the rap game. I'm not doing the same things anymore, and it's just like now the fire doesn't burn as much as it did back before I stopped. And now I got a new fire, and my new fire basically is talking about sports, so that's all I listen to.
Hey, and speaking of sports and fire's going out, I want to talk Notre Dame football with my main man, Texas. Ty, real quick.
Why?
Texas.
Go Irish.
Yeah, obviously it was a rough end to the year last year. Big injuries to the star players. Rough loss in the bowl game there. What do you see for your Irish coming up here this upcoming year, Ty? I've never been a fan of theirs. I know you are. So the Gov is going to step aside and give you the floor in the Sports and More show to rep up them fighting the Irish, homie.
Well, first, they got to stay healthy. It seems ever since Brian Kelly's been there, and so they've been struggling with injuries year in, year out. So they got to find a way, get some steroids or something in there to stay healthy. I don't know. But I said they'll probably be about the same, I imagine, 2 or 3 loss team. They might surprise us, get lucky, get a little push on our side and, maybe go 1 loss. But I said they're not quite, as we saw last year, they're not quite on that Ohio State, Alabama level yet. We need a
not even close
all-star coach. No, nowhere close. At least we're after that 2012, Adrian Peterson switch whooping we got from Bama in that championship game. Brian Kelly made a point to get bigger on the line, and he's done that with his recruiting. But we still can't pull together those NFL junior type classes that the Ohio State and Bama get. So until then, we're going to stay dormant, kind of like the Atlanta Hawks. Be good enough to get to near the top, but not good enough to beat the top. So,
well, here's the thing, Texas. Here's the thing. I live in Kalamazoo, which is probably about 40 minutes from Niles. I mean, they keep saying that you don't get enough 4 or 5 star blue chip players because your academics is even higher than Michigan. So I don't think that you're going to get enough of those type of players to play. And I always say this, and I'll ask you this as a Notre Dame fan. Now, if you had a kid that was very smart and athletic and say the academic standards are similar to Stanford, why the hell would you send your kid to South Bend or a kid instead of going to California, somewhere real nice where the academic is just the same? Maybe, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't know that. Stanford actually even has a higher standard than Notre Dame has. I want to say Lou Holtz lowered it back in the 80s, then Brian Kelly lowered it a little bit. I think Charlie White did too, some of the standards, but it is still high. Man, I was thinking that, in my dream when I was a kid, would I ever go to Notre Dame? Man, hell no, it's too cold up there. So,
come on now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. That's one thing they're gonna have to find a way or find the right kids to go get after. The ones who do value education, don't care about cold. But I mean, you can only pitch tradition and history so much. Where, as you can see with the 5 stars, they want to go pro, but Notre Dame has actually been sending quite a few players this last few years. As you could tell, they're getting better with the recruiting to the pros. So we'll see, man. I don't know.
Thorny Switch said Notre Dame will be fine until it comes to making the playoffs.
The one good thing Notre Dame has is so they get those ratings and they bring money. So you'll see, they'll be ranked 8th when they really should be ranked 15th. So that's one good thing when it comes to the playoffs. So,
you're right.
The politics will get them into the edge if they're the borderline.
Now, Texas, it does help that you have majority white people that are Catholic. on these radio networks and television channels, so you can put Notre Dame on TV every damn week for the last 15 years, even if they're terrible.
Yeah, hey, don't hate it, don't be jelly over there in Cleveland now.
I'm in Michigan. Real quick.
Oh, Michigan. Okay, that's right. Kalamazoo.
Real quick. I was just at one of my physician's office, and he's a huge Notre Dame fan. He was saying that he was worried about the three quarterbacks. He was saying if they pull an Ohio State situation and not start one quarterback, he's worried. Out of those three, who do you think they're going to start, and who would you start?
I had the same. I have a feeling one of them will transfer.
Yeah.
The word is that Wimbush kid. They say he's probably the best quarterback out of all of them. But Kelly don't like to really play non-experienced players.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough because Zaire beat them all out last year. I'd like to see Zaire get that chance. But I have a feeling Deshaun Kaiser, he showed out pretty good, and it's his race to lose. So I think it'll be Kaiser with the start, but I'd probably try to find a way to play Malik Kai. What is his name? Zaire.
Yeah.
I like to see him get the start. But Kelly in Cincinnati, Kelly played two quarterbacks quite a bit, so maybe they could do that. He has to or the staff itself has to try to talk that Wimbush kid and believing in the program, and he'll probably get the start next year, I imagine.
Yeah.
So,
Jersey said Notre Dame gets you paid after college. He is definitely right. Sluggo said Notre Dame has academic exceptions like any other big-time program.
Hey, did you see Jarvis J? He's talking about LSU apparently saying F Notre Dame, go Tigers. And to switch it up here real quick, gentlemen, to get into the basketball tonight, I wanted to ask this of Jon Fisher. We got the microwave on the line as well, people out here on the Stewart and Media Entertainment Network, Sports and More show. Hey, Patty Cake, let me ask you this. Tonight we got this Oklahoma City game. What do you see happening tonight? Does San Antonio have a chance to stop these boys and, keep it going here?
I do think San Antonio has a chance, but I think the percentages is fairly low, and that's only because I think Oklahoma City understands the dynamic of what's going on. Now, if you look at it, as they pegged early in the season, the Thunder's quote-unquote lineup of death was with Enes Kanter. It was Enes Kanter, Serge Ibaka, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Dion Waiters. Now, that particular five had outscored any other five, even the Warriors lineup, the quote-unquote lineup of death with Draymond at the five. They had outscored them, and I think by like 50 points. They were higher than any other tandem of five players. Now, what the Thunder has done was found a way to have that same lineup, but instead of having Ibaka on the floor, they got Steven Adams in there, and he's doing his thing. And they're presenting because they still have Kevin Durant and Dion Waiters for shooting. They have Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant for the driving, and they got two big bodies down there that can grab rebounds.
Yeah, they're the number one leading rebounding. Yeah,
and Enes Kanter, who normally doesn't play defense, he's become their best defensive big man, at least in this series in the playoffs. So I mean, I think that Oklahoma City understands the dynamics of what's going on. Like, okay, we won 2 games in San Antonio where they've only lost 1 game all regular season. What are the odds that we win a third in San Antonio? Slim to none. So I think Oklahoma City is going to come out there to be in front of their home crowd, and role players play better at home. Most role players. I'm not talking about a role player who was a superstar and ended up having to be a role player because he's older, like Ray Allen back in Miami. I'm talking about a guy who's basically just a role player, like a Dion Waiters, or if you look at the Spurs, like a Patty Mills. They play better normally at home. So for the fact that the Thunder are going to be at home, I think their role players will have a chance to give the impact that they actually need. And, I mean, if you look at the Spurs and their role players, man, they've been struggling, dude. Like, Kawhi Leonard took he took 0 shots in the last two or so minutes in that game.
Well, he's too busy playing
Aldridge
D.
only had, like, 1 shot. Tony Parker was taking all his shots.
Talk. Reg has got a few more topics he wants to bust into as well. And guess what? the Los Angeles Raiders are not the only team now in play in Las Vegas, because they're going to use the San Diego Chargers as a backup. So let's do this. We got a new song from Jon Fisher. The Streets Knew Me, one of my favorites. So, folks, thank you guys for hanging out and doing the thing here through the technical difficulties. We'll be right back after this break.
While you burning up, I feel the breeze up the freeway. Mary, baby, I asked her, could I hit? There was nothing she could say. Trust me, boo, I would never. Then my Mary solitary confined. I find myself dealing with time. Now that she's dealing with time. Dealing with time.
Yo. Now I'm in love with this girl, and I never really told her, but I swear she know it, cause of the way that I hold her. Don't care that I'm out in the street stuck in the heat, cause she know the more I eat, then the more we meet, then the more I'm having sex with her. It's just the way she smells, her body aroma, I gotta be next to her. With money in my pockets, then I gotta be vexed with her. Mad when I can't touch, mad when I can't nut, but no matter what, that's my shorty. She been there before the yak, the cracks, the jacks in the 40s. Love the fact I'm on wax, and they always recording me. She say she want me richer than Berry Gordy, always with other dudes, so she don't mind when I cheat. Just make sure I wrap it up when I'm tapping them freaks. We went from hours to days, from days to weeks. Now I'm in love with this broad till I'm eternally sleep.
While you burning up, I feel the breeze up the freeway.
Ooh, Mary, baby, I
asked her, could I hit? There was nothing she could say.
Trust me, baby, I would never.
Then my Mary solitary confined. I find myself dealing with time. Now that she's dealing with time. Dealing with time.
Ooh, Mary, baby, I need you. No matter how rough it get, I can never leave you. Our bond is real strong, like Freeway and Seagull. Even though just knowing you makes me illegal. And it ain't an age thing, dog, she older than me. She got some people calm, some colder than me. Got some people rich and others owing they peeps. And she real flammable, like oils and grease. Since I've been with her, dog, she done changed my life. Turned my lips the same color like white and rice. Let me know who is real and who real tripe. Can't front though, she done made me nice on the mic. It's like, the more I write, the more I recite, the more I spit. She keep dudes saying I'm tight. Broke up for 3 months once when we had a fight. Now I'ma stay with this chick until it's time to see the light.
You burning up, I feel the breeze up the freeway.
Ooh, Mary, baby, I
asked her, could I hit? There was nothing she could say.
Trust me, boo, I would never.
Then my Mary solitary confined. I find myself dealing with time. Now that she's dealing with time. Dealing with time.
Dealing with time. Just dealing with time. Stay on my mind.
Streets knew me since I was a little nappy head nigga. Way before I started smoking or ever made a figure. Way before I started to rap, I was rocking my cousin's sneakers and starting from scraps. I just wanted a little brother, plus hand me some change. So at night, I prayed for miracles and just never came. Pair of skippies on my feet, London fog for the winter truth. Couldn't get the Tim's, dog, couldn't get the triple goose. Couldn't get a chain, stepfather stole my ring and sold it. Just so he could smoke some cook cocaine. Enough was enough for being legit. Me and Nat started doing all types of shit. Breaking open soda machines and passing them out. Older niggas knowing my name, I'm happening now. Mama moved me out the city of BK, back to being all by my lonesome. We headed to VA.
The streets knew me, never had it Goldie. Riding by my only, these niggas don't know me, but the streets knew me. Soldier to a general, cradle to the grave, outstanding individual.
Way before I became J Dredd, before I ever lit a blunt and planned to blaze it ahead. Way before I sold me some crack, before I ever copped the bottle and pour me some yak. Life changed, new step pop, and a new state. Never frontin' like I'm hard, kept the dudes safe. Never folding like I'm soft, niggas steady knowing. Early signs of being great, I'm already showing. Got a job, same time, started stealing clothes, knew it wasn't right, but it kept the boy feeling dope. got high when that first time 11th grade. Couldn't imagine I'd be blazing like I do today. Graduated to community college, but instead of pursuing the knowledge, I'm moving to Scammer. Got arrested, lost the weed plus, stuck in the jail. Hope the judge let me out, cause mama ain't got bail. Hell.
The streets knew me, never had it coldie. Ride by my only, these niggas don't know me, but the streets knew me. Soldiers to a general, cradle to the grave, outstanding individual.
Way before I became young trees, before I pointed guns at yours, saying give me the cheese, nigga. Before I ever tried to get a deal, I was selling crack for a living so I could get a meal. Bad record can't get a job paying more than $6, but I can make 600 in 6 hours. Yeah, I'm flipping powder, hard getting sour. Cook it up, sell it all, now I'm getting power. D and Y's, dog, we getting ours. We distribute the work, call us Martin Brower. I distribute the hurt, call me Tiny Lister. Gripping guns, both hands, palm got the tiny blisters. When I'm in jail, call me inmate Fisher. Got the juice aiming at you, nigga, you could call me Bishop. Now switch up, spit straight vicious. I'm shunning niggas like they pop, make them do the dishes.
The streets knew me, never had it coldie. Ride by my only, these niggas don't know me, but the streets knew me. Soldier to a general, cradle to the grave, outstanding individual. The streets knew me, never had it coldie. Ride by my only, these niggas don't know me, but the streets knew me. Soldier to a general, cradle to the grave, outstanding individual.
It's beach body season, so if you're looking to get that beach body, there's still time. With IASO tea, the IASO tea is a unique blend of 9 all-natural herbs. Just 8 ounces of tea twice daily can provide you with dramatic results and have you beach ready in no time. Place your order today at www.totallifechanges.com/tea-team. That's www.totallifechanges.com/TEATEAM or call 678-250-5839. That's 678-250-5839. Start working on your beach body today.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, the Sports and More Show. Vince Wright, Dollars and Cents, Reggie Lawrence.
Yes, sir. So, Vince, quick question for you. I know we got a couple of Miami Heat fans, or one in particular, the lovely Miss Mocha. What's been your thoughts on that series, and do you see Miami pulling it out, or you think Toronto's going to take it?
I think Toronto's going to find a way to take it. I thought big win in the last game for them, and they just seem to be more confident on the floor. They seem to be really intent on the goal of winning that game, and I think that they have found a way to do it, and I think that they will beat Miami in the end. It may go 7. Now, you know, Miami has a lot of pride. Dwayne Wade single-handedly doing his thing for Mocha Bella's team down there in the South Beach. But I think Toronto's got just a little too much right now, and they're getting a little more confident, and the young team's coming up. Look for Toronto and Dwayne Casey to move past the Miami Heat. What are your thoughts, brother?
You know, ideally, I would like it to go 7 because that helps my Cavaliers. But I think the injury bug is hitting the Heat. That's the problem. So, you know, and how many times can Dwayne Wade find that fountain of youth? But Valanciunas is hurt for Toronto, to be honest with you. So, and it looks like Damari Carroll hurt his wrist. I don't know how bad he injured his wrist on that fall. But you had, you know, a bunch of injuries. I'm hoping that Toronto is going to pull it out, but honestly, I think Miami. I could see Miami, you know, coming back and getting the Raptors and playing Cleveland in the finals, and that'd be a great series as well.
Exactly, man. So yeah, excellent series. Very impressed with Miami. What do you now? If Miami had Bosh in the mix, Reggie, what do you think happens? I think they win.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And I actually think they give Cleveland a run for their money, too. I mean, you talking about Dragic is doing well. Oh, and Luol Deng is hurt, too. I don't know how bad he's hurt, so that's going to hurt them as well. But I could have seen Miami actually beating Cleveland or going 7 games if Bosh was playing.
Right on. I understand you, man. So moving along to tonight's game, we talked to Jon Fisher about it earlier. the gang here. I got the monitors on in the Situation Room here at the Executive Mansion. What do you think is going to happen tonight? There's our man Tim Duncan, who you had some choice words for earlier, in his 157th career playoff game, by the way. So what do you think happens tonight?
I think Manu Ginobili is actually going to come out and play pretty well. He's been off and on, too. Father Time has seemed to have caught up with him all of a sudden. But I think you're going to have a pretty good game from Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili. So I'll be honest, I see the Spurs getting them tonight and then taking it back to San Antonio and beating them in San Antonio.
I could just as easily see that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Be interesting. I let them let LaMarcus Aldridge just go crazy. I mean, and make Tim Duncan and Ginobili beat me. That's how I would play it if I'm OKC. Let's see here. My man C-Mix said it needs to be Toronto because LeBron won't play very serious against Miami. C-Mix, you're right. For whatever reason, I don't know if LeBron can put his friendship aside and have that killer instinct. You know, I know like in the olden days, Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson loved each other, but once they got on the court, you know, they really went at it, and it was about winning championships. So I'm curious as to see how LeBron would handle a playoff final, Eastern Conference final versus Dwayne Wade. The one thing I wanted to also talk about is that you had mentioned the Las Vegas. I got a trip coming up pretty soon.
We got our man back in the mixer. Jon Fisher's calling back in. What's up, Fish?
Hey, I'm gonna make this quick, man. What is this you talking about when I ain't on the phone, Dollars?
Now, what are we referring to? That my Cleveland Cavaliers are going to beat
about tonight's game.
Yeah, I think the Spurs are going to beat OKC.
You think the Spurs are going to win?
I do. Why? I think experience. Your boys, OKC has coughed up too many late games. Late in the fourth quarter, has made too many dumb mistakes. I just see San Antonio actually pulling it out, and I'm telling you, I expect a pretty good game from Ginobili and old-ass Tim Duncan.
All right. Now, you do know Tim Duncan doesn't even get any playing time, right?
That I do, but that's because
Tim
he's been playing
He sat the whole fourth quarter last game, and the game before that was the very first game in his career that he didn't score a single point in a playoff game. You know, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I do understand, but, you know, kind of like I said, like, there's a new big three of the Spurs now. You have, with their new big three, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, and I guess you have to throw Danny Green in there. No. The days of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, they're done.
I know, but you still got Kawhi? Like you said, I think experience is going to play a role. But your boy OKC, if they can stop making dumb mental mistakes, yeah, they would win. But I think that San Antonio is going to come out and they're going to play smart ball. And I think Popovich is going to really help them pull through with some of his coaching decisions. Because really, Donovan hasn't done anything.
Hey, and before you guys continue again, let me just step in here real quick. The Sports and More Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, our first maiden voyage on the big network here. And we just have to welcome our main man, the host of the Underground Railroad Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Also, that Ninja has joined us, y'all. So let's say what's up to him. What's up, Ninja?
What up, good set?
What's up?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'll let you guys continue. You guys got a big battle going on. I was going to pick Oklahoma City tonight. I think they just find a way to get it done in front of the home squad. Really like the way KD and Westbrook are looking here. And it may be KD's final run in Oklahoma City, but that's the topic for another show. Go ahead, Fish.
I believe, as far as the KD thing goes, if they win this series, KD will stay. But he's only going to stay for 1 year. He's going to sign a 2-year deal with the player option after the first, so that way him and Westbrook will be free agents at the same time. Now, with that being said, I do agree with you, Dollars, and I do agree that, you know, the Spurs are going to come out. They're going to play a hell of a game. They're going to play smart ball. The ball's going to be moving a lot more. But here's the difference in the playoffs for the Spurs this year. If you look at it, the games that Aldridge has gone off, That's not Spurs basketball. They're passing the ball inside, and he's working out in the post. Spurs basketball is whipping the ball all around the court, and it's going to be two people with open shots. The first dude is going to pass up an open shot, to pass to another dude who's going to have even a more open shot. And that's the way the Spurs play. But that's not the way they played last game, because Tony Parker ended up taking all the shots at the end of the game. And then games 1 and 2, when LaMarcus Aldridge was just abusing OKC, that's not the way they played. So, like, it's almost as if Popovich is trying to transition into a new era with the Spurs because they're not playing the way that they normally play, and Pop's not making the adjustments. You know, I think he just accepted to say, hey, look, we got to transition into the new role because we can't do it with Tim, Manu, and Tony anymore.
They're pride and veteran. I'm just saying I think that they're gonna pull it out tonight and come back. But you know, the main thing is I think Cleveland's gonna beat your Golden State Warriors. So I'm really, you know, I don't care about tonight. I worry about that series, my brother. And then you and I will have back-to-back talk.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some conversation going on because I got PayPal the same way you got PayPal. And it's gonna be a lot of transactions going on from one way to the other. And I don't understand why you feel so much like, and you know what? It's not just you. I know you got to ride with your squad, so I'm gonna give you respect for riding with them thick and thin. But everyone now is feeling like because of what Cleveland did to the Hawks that they're just better than Golden State. And Steph has been hurt, so. I mean, to see a dude come back and score, and everyone wants to question, oh, well, how does he get unanimous and the day and the time and the NBA saw? Dude, the man scored 17 points in overtime. That's 5 minutes. You know, the Spurs, I think they said, scored 20 points. Or, no. Yeah, I think the highest total of a team in overtime in NBA history is 20 points. And he almost got that by himself. So why don't we stop and give that man his credit? You know what I mean? So the way the NBA is today, he is taking advantage of, and we've never seen anything like it, at least to now.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you, Fish. And that's the thing. It's hard, you know, because, yeah, I grew up in the 80s, and I grew up with what I call the golden age of NBA basketball. And I get it. You always look back and go, yeah, you know, during my era, you know, they were tougher and all this stuff. I get it. But it is what it is today. And with the rules that are in place today, like you just said, man, what Curry is doing is just incredible. And also, I think we're just used to seeing people play above the rim as well. You know, we grew up with Dominique and Jordan and all these high flyers above the rim. To see what he's doing with these jump shots, to see where he's hitting these jump shots from, Fish, the man is simply incredible and deserves everything that's coming his way.
Well, definitely, and I got another stat for you. I'm going to let you go, Dollar. I got another stat. Steph Curry has the highest field goal percentage for everyone who's taken more than 150 shots in the paint. He has the highest field goal percentage out of everyone, DeAndre Jordan included. Go ahead, Dollar.
The reason why everybody's excited about Cleveland Cavaliers is because Tyronn Lue has unlocked the big three, and he's finally figured out how to play the big three. They're all averaging, 20 points in the playoffs, 20-plus points. Not only that, you know, you have Tristan Thompson that's doing very well, and then the bench is doing very well. You got Iman Shumpert now, who's actually coming back, hitting his stride. J.R. Smith is playing excellent defense. So you got Kyrie Irving that's healthy. And if you look, it's not about just because they swept Atlanta. It's about how they are actually playing. They're playing almost similar to Golden State. And if you recall, they did break Golden State's single-game record as far as the number of threes hit. So I'm predicting a Cavs win in 7, but you know, definitely would it surprise me if they didn't? No, but when you look at how they've come together, it is a completely different Cleveland Cavalier team than it was when Lue took over.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I ask you, have they been tested? And I think the answer is no because of the team that they played against. Atlanta, we know LeBron has had Atlanta's number. They won. I think it's 12 straight games against Atlanta in the playoffs. So we already know that LeBron has Atlanta's number. And then they play Detroit. And Detroit is just a team that's just getting back to the playoffs for years of being in the dumps. They don't have anybody on that team other than Reggie Jackson who's got any type of playoff experience. So I don't
Detroit
think you can compare the two
State,
when it comes to what the Cavs have played. Go ahead.
Well, Detroit did beat Golden State. And you forget that they do have experience because when you have LeBron, He took 2 games from Golden State, and it was pretty much damn near by himself, averaging almost 40 points, double-double. So he now has Kevin Love who's shooting. He now has Kyrie Irving. So I'm just saying that it's not going to be a blowout. I think that's why I put Cleveland in that position, because even if you got Kevin Love now and Kyrie shooting, no one's going to be able to handle him one-on-one. Now, they can't double-team him like they did last year, and he had nobody to shoot the ball. So just keep that in mind.
Understood, and definitely agree. But I still feel like the Warriors are more of a team, not like Atlanta and not like a Detroit, who will have to double team on LeBron and Kyrie. You know, double teaming one player, you might be able to get away with it, but having to double team 2 players because you can't stop them from penetrating, that's a different animal we're talking about, because then it leads to guys getting open shots. I just want to see what Cleveland does when they're playing against a team. It doesn't even have to come against the West. But when they play against a team who doesn't have to double team all the time, when they can just man up, then there's LeBron getting his, Kyrie getting his, but the other guys who are all the shooters, and most of them can't create their own shot except for maybe a J.R. Smith. When it comes to those guys, their production is going to lack, and that's why I think they'll end up losing.
Well, let me read a couple of these chats here real quick here. Let's see. RC said.
Bringing it.
RC
I'm
said.
going to let y'all do y'all thing, man.
Hey,
I'm going to get off and let y'all finish y'all
Thank
show
you
strong.
very much for joining us, and everybody in the chat room loves the music, man.
Thanks,
and they
Fish.
want to. Hey, Fisher, let them know
No
how
doubt.
they can get a hold of them cuts, by the way, brother. Very nice.
Well, if you want to get a hold of the songs, you got to get at me personally on Facebook. Inbox me your phone number, and I can share you all the music that I have via Dropbox, like Reggie said earlier. And the music that I have is only about probably 30% of all the music that I've lost. But you can still get what you can get. Holler at your boy. Hit me up on Facebook, Jon Fisher, JONFISHER.
All right, Fisher. Take it easy, bro.
That's what's up. Thanks, Fish.
All right, y'all keep doing y'all thing, man.
Get back to the chats here. Jarvis J said, RC, I said, okay, was going to win after the first terrible loss, or first terrible game 1. RC said Curry is the illest in the game. Enough said. Jarvis J said, RC Curry's skills are crazy. He does the little things great. Let's see here. Sluggo said the Fish was rolling with his stats. That's for sure. Stat boy rubbing off on Fish.
Hey,
so
man,
listen.
Don't mess with Fish, brother. That man knows so much about sports. He is the sultan of late night sports talk. That's why I love that brother, man. Patty Cake Microwave on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network with us. Doing our thing, man, here on the Sports and More Show. You can find us on Doug's wonderful network. And by the way, hit us up at xsquadaffiliates.com, the website where you can get info on all the shows, you know, Spicy Conversations, the Lonely Hearts Club. You got Kesey's show, Kicking It with Kesey, obviously Cooking with the Microwave, all the Jersey shows. I mean, Jersey's doing it, Reg.
Oh, yeah. Number one, Chief Rocka. Hey, you had brought up something probably about 10, 15 minutes ago. You had mentioned the NFL in Las Vegas. So I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you were aware that the UFC has put there's rumors that there's 2 major figures in talks for buying UFC for, I think, roughly about $3 to $4 billion. Did you hear that?
Yeah, and I actually heard Dana White on, what was it, Dan Patrick's show talking about that. Of course, he's denying it. But, of course, he goes, it's like the old Ted DiBiase, the wrestler. Everybody has a price. And he said if somebody wants to come by and offer $4 or $5 billion for it, they're obviously going to listen. But he said as of right now, there's nothing for sale. I don't buy it because, again, you're always interested if somebody's talking big money like that. So we'll see how it plays out there, DJ Dollars and Cents. What do you think is going to happen with it?
Well, what's interesting is it does all tie into the Oakland Raiders situation. So what I was hearing is that actually Dana White isn't even the majority owner. There's 2 other brothers that actually own a large portion of UFC, and they actually bought it for $2 million. So the talk is that, these 2 brothers are actually out of Las Vegas. So they're huge sports fans. So the talk is if they sell UFC, I think to an Asian investor, this guy's worth $30 billion, the money that they get back, there's talks is that they want to get in the action and possibly join with Davis's son to be, part owner in the Los Angeles Raiders, what would be Las Vegas Raiders, and move them to Vegas. So I thought that was very interesting. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think it's a good idea, and I can see the Raiders going to Vegas.
And like I talked about on my show the other day, the Las Vegas thing is very real and can happen. The team's willing to put up $500 million, probably take another $500 million at least. These billion-dollar stadiums nowadays, people. What do you guys think out there in the chat room and out there in the internet world? Can the Raiders make this happen? And the story, by the way, that's on CBSSports.com that I was referring to a little earlier now has San Diego in the mix as a backup. Now, a lot of things would still have to happen for the Chargers to land out in Las Vegas. But again, it looks like Vegas is really trying to pursue this, Reg, and let's keep our eyes on this because I think something's going to be happening here real soon with Las Vegas, Nevada, and the NFL.
Yes, sir. To switch topics a little bit, man, I wanted to move over to Major League Baseball. And there's this one player that, that dude has got some serious swag, and that's Bryce Harper. Have you seen the latest situation with Bryce Harper?
All I know is my Cubs refused to pitch to him and still swept the weekend series, and I love it.
Well, that shows me that your Cubs playing like some bitches if you don't want to pitch to somebody. You got Arrieta.
Mr. Baseball.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Mr. Old School. Go ahead, Reg.
No, I'm somewhere in the middle. But what happened was Bryce Harper got thrown out of the game with the umpire. Saw that. And then he obviously said some choice words, left, and then came back. His boy hit a game-winning home run, and he ran out. It was to celebrate, and he found the umpire and immediately was like, told the umpire to F off. And so the Major League Baseball suspended him, basically saying that, it's all about him. You can't disrespect the umpire like that. So I was going to see, what were your thoughts? Do you think the Major League, Baseball had a right to suspend the guy for?
Oh, of course they did, man. You can't show up the umpire like that, and then when you start cussing and F-U-ing, you know what's going to happen, man. And quite honestly, the Gov thought that he was lucky just to get a game, dollars. So I was very, very shocked. I thought he was going to get 2 or 3, to be honest with you. I thought being kicked out, now granted, he was kicked out in the 9th inning, obviously hanging out in the tunnel. He didn't go all the way back to the locker room like he was supposed to. But then when he came out and did what he did towards the umpire, bro, I was very shocked that he only got a game, and not just because he was playing the Cubs. It could have been any team. But I really thought, homie, that he should have got maybe 2 or 3 games. But I will say this, though, about Bryce. He's one of the faces of the game. But I think the commission's going to start keeping a little eye on him. I think we got a little, maybe a little Dennis Rodman thing going on. He's starting to feel his oats down there in Washington, and as the face of the league, along with players like Mike Trout and whatnot. I'm going to keep my eye on Mr. Harper. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. But I think he's, as they used to say back in the old times, getting a little big for the britches, and I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Now, you call me old school. Are you serious right now?
I just say, exactly. Ain't that so?
Yeah. Okay, Kettle.
Black.
Right. Let me, first off, man, I ain't got no issue with it.
Hey, Right. Okay, go ahead.
Because these umpires, right, this is the only sport where really the umpires think that they're bigger than the players and that people actually come to pay to see them call balls and strikes and throw people out. They have no sort of repercussions. They don't answer to anybody. So I don't have a problem with him telling the ref, F you, after the game was over. I don't got an issue with that.
Okay, all right. That kind of surprises me a little bit, but it cost him a game. I thought it would cost him a couple more. But let me jump in the chat room here because we kind of neglected the chat room here. We've had calls. We've had some technical issues that we've bounced back from. Again, Ninja joined us. Thorny Switch is still up in the joint. Sluggo, Jarvis J from Minneapolis, RC from Duluth, Minnesota. And by the way, RC says, I think Oklahoma City wins tonight. San Antonio has no answer for Durant and Westbrook. And Oklahoma City's centers have been dominating on the boards. And I totally agree with them. Jarvis J says Golden State is not losing. Grego, this is why Fish and I work together. And that Ninja was joining us, sending us his lookout to everybody. And Fish, yep, talking about the facts. Jon Fisher knows, man, when he starts spouting like that, he knows what he's talking about. That's why I love him. I love his show, Cooking with the Microwave, here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. People.
Quick question, Vince.
Yes,
how many games did Cleveland win last year versus Golden State?
Good question. What was it? 1, 2? Was it 4-2?
I think it was 4-2, and this is without who? Without half their squad. So I mean, no one wants to talk about that. Fish didn't talk about that. Then when him and I were going back and forth, I was talking to him about the defense and Dellavedova and all that. LeBron took them to school by himself, scoring almost 40 points. So he's got a whole bunch of other players, all right?
And I didn't mean to cut you off there, folks. Sports and More show here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. We're making our maiden voyage tonight, the first show. And Busa has a fun point. He's talking about the Nationals and how they're starting to maybe take on the look of their manager, Dusty Baker. What do you think about that, Mr. Baseball Man?
No. Listen, Bryce Harper had been a dog before Dusty Baker. So I like Dusty Baker. I think he's a good coach, but Bryce Harper just don't give a F. And if he was a African American player or a Latino player, he would get lambasted. But now, since it's Bryce Harper and this kid is the face of the Major League Baseball, it's like, oh, he's fiery. He's just competitive and he's just being him. But I'm not going to give Dusty Baker credit for, Bryce Harper because he's been an a-hole his whole career. Remember, Papelbon almost fought him in the dugout. Remember that?
Right, exactly. And earlier in the chat, Togo Uganda was talking about getting Jon Fisher's music out there, getting him some money, man. Everybody loves Jon Fisher's music. That's why I'm glad he gave me permission to play it on our shows. Because Fisher can rap, man, and I just wanted to play some good rap music. That's all it really was. And if it's one of our own homeboys, all the more power to him. So congratulations, Fisher. And again, get at him and get copies of all his cuts, man, because they're bumping.
Chief Rocka said, coming from a Cleveland fan, what do we know? And then my frat brother said, Harper should have cussed his ass out. I agree. Damn right. These umpires with these horrible calls, man, just thinking that they're better than the players. They're a bunch of jealous people that couldn't be baseball players, so they decided to be umpires. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And let's see. Chief Rocket said Golden State will not beat the Cavs. Jarvis J said Dollars will just have to wait and see. Yes, sir. Yes, we will. My man C Mix said Curry isn't 100%. Thank you, Craig. And also, it's a long series, so you still got a whole nother series for Golden State to play, either San Antonio and OKC. So I'm hoping on a 7-game for either of those teams.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We got probably the most chats that we've ever had. We're rocking and rolling, and even with technical issues, which I thank the good man above we got figured out, this show is popping, man, and this is a great debut for the SME Network. So, Reg, again, talking about your Cavaliers, out here in the chat room, I can't believe it. Was that Jersey Vern that said Golden State will not beat the Cavs? Wow.
Yes, he did. Yep. I need to screenshot that.
Thorny Switch, Harper can do no wrong, huh? Okay.
She right, though. I like Bryce Harper. You know what? He's the one guy that's challenged this old school crap that's going on in baseball.
When he went back at Papelbon last year. And I got nothing against Bryce Harper. I mean, let's not get it twisted. But I just did not agree with the FU drop there at the end. But, hey, it's a game. You move on. No big deal.
Hold on. Why did you not agree with it? What is the problem? After the game is over. They drop F-bombs in the middle of the game. So do you have a problem with him seeking the referee out and telling him to F off?
Yeah. I think it was the seeking out that I had a little issue with. Just let it fly, man. Just let it fly. Now, it could have been more games, like I said. I thought it was going to be more games. If it's a different part of the season, maybe it takes him out of the pennant race for a game or two. And I'm looking way down the road, man. But that's just what I'm saying. Dollars. So no big deal. We move on from it. And again, between the Cubs and the Nationals, I mean, those are the two National League teams. Obviously, the Dodgers and the Giants will have something to say. But, man, the Washington Nationals and Chicago Cubs, National League, they are balling, man.
You know what? Let's see. My man Easy does it. Yep. Easy does it. Yep. Said yo.
Easy's up
what's
in
up?
Here. What up, sir?
Dorney says, I like him in the sense that he can help modernize the game. The so-called purists are killing baseball. Dorney, totally agree. Baseball is damn near unwatchable. And here's another thing, and I know Jersey's gonna get on me on this, but look, man, why do we have to watch Boston and New York on ESPN Monday Night Baseball?
You know why, Reg? Because that's all who works there, man. We've been through this. Doug has been through this on SME, on his show many, many times, and it's common knowledge. Everybody that works at not everybody, obviously, but the big contingents are from the New England area. They grew up in New York and Boston. They went to school in New England and that area in New York. And when they get jobs at ESPN, they bring their loyalties there. Now, granted, it does show in the ratings because obviously New York's the biggest city in the country. Boston's a big area as well. Those two fan bases are rabid, so they do get a little spikes in viewership. But that's why you get it constantly thrown down your throat from ESPN, my friend, is because you have a lot of people that grew up in the New England, New York, Boston area, and they just bring it right to work with them, and they put it out there on a national platform. So that's what goes on there.
I mean, I don't mind watching Boston and New York, but when they're good, and I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just saying right now the Cubs is what's it. The Nationals should be on. You got just a ton of other teams that's got some really good players that are actually doing something. I'm just like, man, I don't even tune in at all now. When those two play. And
here's the other problem, folks. And again, thank you. You're listening to the Sports and More Show with DJ Dollars and Cents and the Sports Governor Vince Wright. The other problem with baseball is it's very regionalized now. It's not a national pastime anymore. So when let's just take Minnesota Twins fans up here in the north central part of the country don't necessarily care about Cleveland or watching Boston. And that's the problem with the World Series nowadays. Let's take last year's World Series. Unless you live in one of those two cities, Kansas City, who did Kansas City play last year in the World Series? I'm having a little brain fart here.
Was it St. Louis? Was it St. Louis?
Was it the Battle of Missouri? Well, let's say if it was. The only fans from them two cities are the only ones that really watch. And, that comes out in the Washington TV ratings. So that's the other problem with baseball. And I really don't know if they can get it. They're not going to get it back to the way it was like when we were coming up. But baseball, they have some things to figure out. I'd obviously love to see more African Americans get involved. But at the same time, they seem to be drawing big numbers. So.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's see. C-Mix said it's the biggest rivalry in baseball, and he's right. Grego said John Smoltz, Ron Gant, Dave Justice, Greg Maddux are not walking onto that field. Yeah, preach, Grego. Thorny said it's a huge rivalry, Dollars. People who don't watch baseball will tune in for Yankees versus Sox. It's like the Cowboys in football. Good point.
Yeah, it's like a casual fan that watches Tiger, when Tiger was doing his thing in a golf tournament. They could care less about golf, but if they're home on a Saturday afternoon, Tiger's in the lead doing his thing, they're watching.
Good point. Real quick, I know we talked about the show is called Sports and More here on SME Network.
Oh, yes, and I got a little more on Jennifer Lopez, too, we got to get to here. We only got roughly about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with Doug about that damn Riley Curry, boy. That little girl, she funny as hell, but she take after her mama, and she gonna be off the chain, and she do need her little ass whooped. I will agree with Doug on that.
Oh, really? Well, speaking of getting her ass whooped, let me tell you a little something about Jennifer Lopez and a little thought I had about her today, Dallas. Now, I was driving home, and, you know, I live up here in the Twin Cities, you know, and let's just say there's a lot of Caucasian women around. Mm-hmm. Now, is it just me? Now, obviously, the sisters knew this from the beginning of time, how, you know, they celebrate that ass, for lack of a better term. But to this day now, it didn't happen until Jennifer Lopez. Me and my friends were talking about this last week, and that's why I wanted to put it out here real quick. Remember when Jennifer Lopez did that movie Selena?
Yes.
White girls couldn't hide their butts fast enough until that happened. And then all of a sudden, they must have noticed their white boys got sprung, as Sir Mix-a-Lot said, because after that movie, all of a sudden it seemed okay for, you know, the big butts to come out from on the other side there.
Yeah, it was a badge of honor.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just something I was noticing on the ride home today as well, you know, on this day of yoga pants. And, of course, this is guy talk here now. Man, whoever invented them yoga pants, them stretch pants, I just got to give kudos. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I think I told somebody.
White, black, Indian, Haitian, Dominican, all around the world. Just thank you. Thank you, sir.
I had told somebody she had a back porch, and she was like, what? Like, I was insulting her. But then now, yeah, it's definitely turned around, and it's like you see more and more. It's off the chain. But before we go, Thorny, I wanted to ask specifically your opinion and everyone else's opinion. What do you find is more difficult to do or more impressive, the 20 strikeout from Matt Scherzer or a perfect game? Now, I think I'm of the opinion striking 20 batters out to me is probably a little bit more difficult than, you know, or more impressive than the perfect game. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Vince.
Well, obviously, being a Cubs fan and watching Kerry Wood do that back in the day, very impressive. 20 strikeouts, the complete game. I got to give it up for him. That's what impresses me. And, hey, it's 20 strikeouts, man. You don't see that every day. So hats off to the brother. Way to be. And we'll see how he comes out on his next start. Just keep trying to top it. But, yeah, congratulations.
Did you see your lovely wife said, imagine – the governor talking about yoga pants, dry in the desert, Vinny.
Yeah, that's the little inside joke with me in the first lady.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be, Gov's going to be in the desert. It's going to be dry. I need some water. Help me out.
Yeah.
I'm in the jazz cell.
I can't help out, brother. You did this yourself, man. So, I mean, I try to deflect. I'm like, oh, boy.
Hey, man, it is the Sports and More show. And today I just noticed a little more on the way home.
All right. Well, Vince, it's been fun, man. It's we got about 2 minutes, my brother.
Yeah, great show. What can I say, man? It has been a fun show. We had a little technical difficulty. We're going to take care of that. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, man. Let me just say this. We got a world record for our show in terms of the chat number here. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the callers today. Texas Ty coming through. Of course, the number one Chief Rocker coming through, and the main man, Jon Fisher. So once again, man, thank everybody for checking us out, the Sports and More show. Dallas, before we get out of here, man, what do you got to say to the people?
Yeah, I want to say thanks, y'all, for tuning out to our first show on SME Radio. And, you know, we got a bunch more to come. I think we're going to probably switch some things up. It'd be nice for maybe our next show we'll have some opinions or some topics you guys would like to talk about. So thanks for tuning in, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And, folks, the way you can get a hold of us to drop some topics, if there's some you do want to hear about, go to xsquadaffiliates.com. You can reach us through there. You can hit the Gov up on Twitter at the Big Smooth One. And you can also go to the Sports Done Right Facebook page. That's where we have info for this show as well. So make sure you go there and check out DJ Dollars and Cents. He's going to be putting some mixes out there and doing some things as well. So, hey, Dollars, do your thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Well, this is it. Thank you guys so much. Again, the maiden voyage on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I am Vince Wright, the sports governor from Minnesota. My co-host, DJ Dollars and Cents. Again, guys, thank you so much. Doug, thanks for the opportunity. We're looking for big things, and we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Good morning. My name's Bond. James Bond.